Welcome to English Podcast, your place to enjoy captivating stories and real conversations while improving your English. Listen anytime, anywhere, and boost your confidence step by step.
Okay, so our story today is called The Birthday Surprise. It's about a group of friends planning a very special birthday party. Imagine a small, cozy town, nestled among rolling green hills. Picture a place where everyone knows each other, where the air is fresh, and life moves at a slower, more relaxed pace.
Yes, that sounds lovely. And in this charming town, we have our main character, Liam. He's turning 30 next week, a significant milestone. And his friends, Sarah, David, and Emily, are determined to make it a birthday he'll never forget. They adore Liam. He's the kind of friend who's always there for you, reliable and thoughtful. They want to do something equally special for him.
Exactly. So, this picturesque town is the backdrop for our story. It's late spring, the weather is starting to get warm, flowers are blooming everywhere, and the days are long and sunny. Think vibrant colors, the scent of freshly cut grass, birds chirping in the trees, a perfect setting for a celebration. It's the kind of place where people leave their doors unlocked and neighbors pop in for a cup of tea unannounced.
It sounds idyllic. And our friends? Where do they fit into this picture? Do they all live in this town too? What do they do?
They do. Sarah owns the local bakery, famous for her delicious cakes and pastries. David works at the library, surrounded by books and stories, while Emily is a talented gardener, her hands always covered in soil. They're all childhood friends, deeply connected to each other and their town. They've shared so many memories together, growing up in this close-knit community.
It sounds like the perfect recipe for a memorable surprise. So, have they started planning yet? What are their initial ideas?
So, Liam and Sarah, they were determined to make this birthday extra special for their friend, Emily. Unforgettable was the word they kept using. They knew Emily loved anything vintage, like old movies and antique furniture, so they decided to base the party around that theme.
Exactly. And vintage means something from the past, but high quality, like a classic car or a beautiful old dress. They started brainstorming, throwing around ideas like a 1920s speakeasy party or a picnic in a vintage car. It was exciting.
Liam, always the practical one, suggested they start with a manageable budget. He didn't want them to get carried away and end up spending a fortune. "Let's keep our feet on the ground," he said. "We can still make it amazing without breaking the bank."
Sarah, ever the optimist, agreed but added, "Let's not be too frugal, Liam. It's Emily's 30th. We want it to be lavish, really special and luxurious." They eventually settled on a charming idea that blended both their approaches.
They decided on a vintage garden party. They'd decorate Sarah's backyard with antique furniture, borrow a gramophone that's an old record player, and ask everyone to dress in 1920s attire. It sounded perfect.
The next step was the guest list. They wanted to keep it intimate, just Emily's closest friends. Around 20 people, they figured. Enough to be lively but not overwhelming. And they had to keep it a secret from Emily, of course.
Right. Imagine the challenge. Emily is very perceptive, which means she notices things easily. They knew they had to be extra cautious to avoid giving the surprise away. So, invitations were the next hurdle. They decided to create personalized invitations designed to look like vintage postcards. Each card featured a photo of Emily with the guest receiving the invitation, a lovely personal touch.
They also started collecting decorations. Sarah found some beautiful antique teacups and saucers at a flea market. A flea market is a market where you can find used goods, often antiques, at bargain prices. A real treasure trove. Liam, being quite handy, decided he would build a small wooden dance floor in Sarah's garden. He imagined everyone dancing the Charleston under the fairy lights. He could already picture it.
As the weeks passed, the excitement grew. They spent hours planning every detail, from the music playlist, filled with 1920s jazz, to the menu, featuring finger sandwiches and miniature cakes. They even planned a vintage photo booth with props like feather boas and long cigarette holders, of course, without the real cigarettes.
Sarah, who's a talented baker, volunteered to bake Emily's birthday cake. She envisioned a 3-tiered masterpiece decorated with edible pearls and sugar flowers. She wanted it to be spectacular.
It was a lot of work, but seeing it all come together filled them with a sense of anticipation. They couldn't wait to see the look on Emily's face when she walked into the party. So, to quickly recap, it's Sarah's 30th birthday, and her friends, Emily and David, want to throw her a surprise party. They know Sarah loves mysteries, so they've decided to make it a detective-themed party. Detective-themed means it's like a game, where guests try to solve a pretend crime.
Exactly. And remember, they've booked a beautiful old mansion for the party. A mansion is a very big, impressive house, often quite old. It's perfect for a mysterious atmosphere, wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. They've even hired an actor to play a detective, which adds to the fun. They want everything to be perfect for Sarah.
Right. So far, they've sent out the invitations, designed as top secret messages, and they've started decorating the mansion. They're really putting a lot of effort into it, trying to create a memorable experience.
They also decided to create a scavenger hunt. This is a game where you follow clues to find a hidden prize, which will make the party even more interactive and exciting.
And remember the special cake they ordered? It's going to be shaped like a magnifying glass, a tool detectives use. It's all coming together rather nicely.
So now, the challenge is to get Sarah to the mansion without revealing the surprise. They plan to tell her they're going to a boring work conference, then cleverly divert her to the mansion. Divert means to change her route or direction secretly.
It's a risky plan, but they're confident they can pull it off. They're also a little nervous about whether Sarah will enjoy the surprise. They hope she'll be thrilled. Thrilled means extremely happy and excited.
They're putting all their energy into creating this elaborate, complex, and exciting party for their friend. Elaborate means detailed and carefully planned.
They've even started gathering props for the party, like fake fingerprints and detective notebooks. A prop is an object used in a play or a movie, or in this case, a party, to create a specific scene or atmosphere.
And David is in charge of the music. He's created a playlist of mysterious and suspenseful music to enhance the atmosphere. Enhance means to improve or make something better.
Yes, and Emily is busy finalizing the menu. She's making sure there are enough snacks and drinks for everyone, and that there are options for people with different dietary needs.
Everything is going according to plan, or so they think. Remember, it wouldn't be a good story without a little bit of drama. Something unexpected is bound to happen, isn't it? Bound to happen means very likely to happen.
Indeed. Let's see what challenges Emily and David face next in their quest to give Sarah the best birthday surprise ever. Quest means a long and difficult search for something.
Stay tuned to find out. So, they decided to pull out all the stops. This idiom means to do everything possible to make something successful. They wanted to make this party amazing, so they spared no expense, no effort.
Exactly, and they were working against the clock, which means they had very limited time. Sarah's birthday was just a week away, and they had so much to do.
They also agreed to keep it under wraps. That means to keep it a secret. Sarah couldn't know about the party, so they had to be very careful.
Right. They started by booking a beautiful venue, a place where the party could be held. It was a rooftop garden with a stunning view of the city.
And they hired a caterer, someone who provides food and drinks for events. They wanted delicious food, of course.
Then, they started thinking about the decorations. They wanted something unique, something out of the ordinary. This means unusual or special.
They decided on a whimsical theme. Whimsical means playful and imaginative, like something from a fairy tale. Think twinkling lights, colorful balloons, and maybe even a magician.
They were really getting into it, brainstorming all sorts of creative ideas. They even considered hiring a live band, but they weren't sure if it would fit their budget.
Remember, they were trying to pull out all the stops, but they also had to be mindful of the cost.
They knew Sarah loved handmade gifts, so they decided to organize a potluck, where each guest brings a dish to share. This way, they could combine a meal with a special, personalized touch.
It was a great idea, a way to make the party even more special. And it meant they could kill two birds with one stone, provide food and personalized gifts at the same time. This idiom means to achieve two things with one action.
They were so excited, and they knew Sarah would be absolutely thrilled with the surprise.
But they still had a lot to do before the big day. They needed to send out invitations, finalize the decorations, and make sure everything was perfect.
And of course, they had to keep it all a secret from Sarah. That was the most important part. They were determined to make it an unforgettable birthday surprise.
So, they kept their lips sealed. This idiom means to stay quiet and not reveal a secret.
Yes, and they were crossing their fingers that everything would go according to plan. This means they were hoping for the best.
Let's find out what happens next. Okay, so let's quickly recap the story so far. Remember, recap means to summarize the main points. It all started with Sarah's upcoming birthday. Her friends, David and Emily, wanted to plan something truly special, something unforgettable, meaning something she would always remember.
Exactly. They knew Sarah loved mysteries, so they decided on a surprise scavenger hunt. Scavenger hunt means a game where you follow clues to find a hidden prize. They brainstormed ideas, thought about different locations, and finally decided to hide the final clue, and her gift, at their favorite cafe.
They spent weeks preparing, writing clever clues, and carefully choosing a thoughtful gift. They even involved the cafe owner, Mr. Garcia, who was happy to help. They wanted to make sure everything went smoothly, without any problems.
On Sarah's birthday, they gave her the first clue. It was a riddle, a puzzling question. She solved it quickly and it led her to the park, where the next clue was hidden. Each clue was more challenging than the last, testing her problem-solving skills.
She followed the clues from the park to the library, then to the old movie theater, each location bringing her closer to the final surprise. Remember, clue means a piece of information or evidence that helps solve a mystery. Each clue was like a small step in a larger puzzle.
Sarah was so excited and a little bewildered, meaning confused, by the whole adventure. She loved the challenge, the thrill of the chase. The clues were tricky, but she managed to figure them out, one by one.
Finally, the last clue led her to the cafe. There, waiting for her, were David, Emily, and Mr. Garcia with a cake and a beautifully wrapped gift. Wrapped means covered in paper. They yelled, "Surprise!" and Sarah was overjoyed.
It was a perfect surprise, a truly unforgettable birthday celebration. The gift was a beautiful necklace, something she'd always wanted. But the real gift was the thoughtfulness and effort her friends put into making her day so special. They demonstrated their appreciation, their fondness for her, in a really creative way.
And that's the story of Sarah's birthday surprise. A fun tale of friendship, puzzles, and a celebration that was truly unforgettable. Remember, tale is another word for story, often used for shorter and more imaginative stories. Thanks for listening to English Boost. Remember, practice a little every day and you'll see big results. See you in the next episode.